You're listening to KPFT Houston, 90.1 in the dial. If you're down in Galveston, pick us up at 89.5, and our friends up in the piney woods of East Texas, Huntsville, 91.9. It is time for Songwriter Studio. I am your host, Tom Tranchilla, along with Lloyd Daniel behind the glass, our engineer, doing what he does best week after week, month after month. Thank you, Lloyd, for all you do. It is our pleasure to bring into the Songwriter Studio Mr. Dana Cooper. Dana, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Tom. How are you doing?
Doing excellent. Can't complain. We caught your show at the Threadgill Theater at the Kerrville Folk Festival recently. Got a copy of your new album, and your live performance was stellar as always. And your new album is just killer. I Can Face the Truth. What a great album. I've listened to it twice. All the songs are different. You broke up the tempos. You brought in co-writers. You brought in outstanding sidemen. It's just a first-rate, two-thumbs-up record. My compliments, Dana.
Well, thank you so much, Tom. And it was an honor to play the Kerrville Festival, the 50-year anniversary. And it was very good of you to come up to me and give me your regards and invite me to do your show. I'm happy to be here. And yeah, thanks on liking the record. I'm very proud of it. A lot of great people, like you say, and helped to make that happen. So Dave Coleman is not the least of them. He was my co-producer, and he played a lot of the instruments on those tracks. Some of those tracks we built just with him on bass and drums and guitars and keyboards, and me, throwing in what I could. So
yeah, plus your guitar playing is always very, very good. Your live performance at the festival was excellent. I must talk a little bit about your past. You lived in Houston for years. I'm sure you made a lot of your music connections here in Houston. You and Shake worked as a duo for quite some time. I caught your show way back when. You had moved to Nashville. Give the listening audience a little history regarding your residence.
Yeah, well, like you say, I lived in the Montrose area there for about 11 years, and always never that far from Anderson Fair or the Opry House or, any of those places around there. And played all of them one time or another, and love it. Still, Texas is still kind of a second home to me. I come there often. Probably narrowed it down now to a couple of times a year, and this year next, because I'm starting to tour the places again now. But yeah, I love Texas, love Houston, love KPFT. My goodness, what a long relationship we've had, and always loved the station and the work that it does in the community as well, not just the music, but. Yeah.
Which was my next question I was asking you. You're no stranger to KPFT, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, and so appreciative of the support over the years, really. And I'm so glad to see that you guys are keeping it going. I know it's been a struggle.
Yeah, we've been shut down for over 2 years now, but have purchased a new building. We will be moving into the new building on Caroline here in the next couple of months, so please, listeners, stay tuned. We will be live in the studio again in the very near future. Dana, the brand new album, let's get into it. I've got so many songs off here I want to play, starting with the opening track, Always Old Friends. It's a co-write with Robert Weingartz. Tell us a little bit about that.
Robert and I worked together. We had sort of a working relationship, friendship, over the phone. It was months before we met in person, but it was just very interesting how quickly we connected and got each other, and he had an idea for a song called You Can't Make Old Friends, which eventually evolved into Always Old Friends. So, it wants a story of that kind of friendship that you can just have immediately with someone like you've known them forever. And of course, the people in the song itself are old friends who, one of them is about to leave, and that's what that's about.
Let's listen to this track right now. The brand new album, I Can Face the Truth. This is Dana Cooper, Always Old Friends.
Old friend of mine, our faces are lined with years of worry and weather. We crossed the line and we took that ride. We always face the battle together. We done right and we done wrong. Toss the dice and ring the gong. They say you can't make old friends. You were my friend the moment I met you. And I can't live those old days again. But then why the heck would we want to? How we run and how we fall. Yes, I remember it all. Always old friends. Don't let go, friend. Oh, stay with me till the end. Always old friends. We've known the best and the worst in each other. We've blessed and cursed and forgiven each other. It's hard to tell where one begins and the other one ends. Always old friends. Old friend of mine, now it's your time to leave this old world behind you. Go on and shine, I'll hold the line. And where the song never ends, I'll find you. I'll be lonesome until then. I will carry you within. We'll always be old friends. Never let go.
From the album, I Can Face the Truth. Brand new music, Dana Cooper, Always Old Friends. Stellar track. Excellent job. I love the harmonies. You've put it all together. It's a perfect track to open up a record with. My compliments.
Thank you. Yeah, it just kept being the obvious opening song. You know, at one point I'd sequenced it opening with I Can Face the Truth, which worked, but I don't know, there's just something about it. It's kind of a little anthemic, and I love, you know, David Starr and Jonah Mosser singing on there with me, and of course Dave Coleman's guitar stuff is just amazing. So.
And David's quite a songwriter himself. He's been a guest on our show as well.
Yeah.
Great guy, too. He's a great guy.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Let's talk a little bit about your early beginnings. You moved to Los Angeles at age 20 and signed with Elektra Records. And I was reading in your bio, I didn't realize you had legendary drummer Russ Kunkel and Leland Sklar. Of course, he's been with James Taylor for decades. What was it like working with that group of guys?
Well, those two guys were really integral to the record, and they spent a lot of time after the sessions were over. We'd hang out in the studio and work on arrangements for the next day, or play with, you know, the phase shifter on the bass. I asked Leland one afternoon, you know, after everyone had gone, he had a phase shifter, that first phase shifter, which is like as big as your foot, and he has a great big pedal, and it only did one thing, you know. But I said, let's. Have you ever thought of tuning the bass string, the very bottom string on your bass, you know, down to D? He was like, no. So we did that and played it through the phase shifter and used it on a song. But they were just so down to earth and so involved in the process, you know, in the record. I mean, it wasn't like they were just getting paid to do it, and which they were, of course. But I mean, that was unusual. All the people I worked with on there, Michael Mardian, you know, Milt Holland, who's also from the Wrecking Crew, an incredible genius of a percussionist, God, with an amazing collection of a whole couple of trunks filled with handmade, you know, percussion instruments from around the world, and just interesting people. Jim Horn, and of course Jim Gordon, who was one of the most in-demand session drummers back then from co-wrote Layla with Clapton and played with everybody. Yeah, it was a very interesting bunch. Joe Osborne on bass as well from the Wrecking Crew. So I got my pick of who I wanted, and my producer suggested some of those folks as well that I wasn't familiar with. And it was really an honor and quite a learning experience to work with all those people. I was 21 when we went into the studio. So
I don't know if it's still available, but the documentary that was recently released on Netflix goes through a lot of the Wrecking Crew and some of the records they were on. It's just an incredible documentary. I put it up there with Muscle Shoals and some of the other documentaries, but it's very, very interesting. If you're just tuning in, Dana Cooper's our guest on Songwriter Studio and reviewing tracks off the excellent brand new record, I Can Face the Truth. Let's talk about the title track. We've got that queued up, track number 2.
Yeah, I can face the truth, but please not today. And that's the qualifying line of the song, really, I guess. But maybe I should have called the record "Please Not Today." But I like that. There's a lot of humor in the song, and I don't know that people always get it. But once in a while, when I play it out live, an audience will just really catch all the little jokes inside the song. It's kind of poking fun at oneself and owning up to one's foibles and weaknesses. But, just not today.
Let's listen to that track right now. Off the brand new album, I Can Face the Truth, the title track of Dana Cooper's I Can Face the Truth.
The sun to hide behind the clouds. I wanna run and never fall down. I'd be number one if I could figure it out. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. I've stood so long, I'd like to sit down. I've sung my song, can I take my bow? I can go long, baby, just not right now. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can be a fool, I can be a creep, I can be so cruel, it's a wonder I can sleep. You got your complaints, give it to me straight. Baby, can it wait just one more day? Truth will set me free, truth will slap my face. Truth is I'm weak, truth is I'm afraid. Afraid of my own life, the damage that I've done. Afraid of what I'm not and what I might become. Yeah, I can face the truth, but please not today. Cut down the flowers, lay 'em on the grave. Don't count the hours, time will not be saved. I'm not a coward, but I'm tired of being brave. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today. I can face the truth, but please not today.
The title track, I Can Face the Truth. Brand new music, Dana Cooper. Like all the other tracks on this album, just superb. And the lyrics, I think we can all relate to lyrics throughout this track. Dana, I want to talk a little bit about some of the instruments used on this album. Tell the listening audience a little bit about your 12-string Mando guitar.
Yeah, 12-string Mando guitar. Well, actually, that belongs to Dave Coleman, and he has it tucked away there or just out in the open, really. And it's so tempting. You have to pick it up. It's a little electric guitar kind of teardrop shaped thing. And it's just a beautiful sounding instrument. That track, that was the first one we recorded, and we built that entire track, just the two of us. And I played that little Mando guitar, and he played, put down a acoustic guitar track, and he put down a drum track with me and added bass to it. I mean, it's just, it was really, and he has a giant old marching drum tucked in the corner there, and he got a mallet out and put that on there. And I really like the sparseness of the production of it. It's just, everything is kind of hold its place there. And that was the first thing we put together, and it was just an experiment to see if we wanted to work together. And it was like, wow, we were both, let's go ahead and make a whole record together.
No, agreed.
The whole thing was just like that the whole way. It was just a lot of fun to do.
Back up a little bit. The 12-string, is that thing tuned like a mandolin or tuned like a 12-string guitar?
Well, it's tuned like a 12-string guitar. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Basically.
It's just like a little bitty, like a mandolin-sized guitar, electric guitar.
Understood.
With all those strings on it. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like to own one.
Yeah. You go to some of these more exotic music stores anymore, you can find all kinds of instruments that are combined. You've got your 6-string banjos now, and your mandolin banjos, and there's so many different, for better use of the word, I guess they're combination. What would you call them, Lloyd? I'm fishing for a word here. Hybrids. That's what I was looking for.
Hybrids. There you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's true. There's a lot out there. I own a 1907 Gibson harp guitar, the Gibson, a harp guitar that my dad acquired from me many years ago, and that's quite an instrument. With all the 10 sympathetic strings attached to it. It's pretty cool.
I wasn't even aware they were making harp guitars back then.
Yeah,
in the early 1900s. Of course, some of the musicians today are using them in their sets. So great instruments.
Yeah, they are beautiful.
If you're just tuning in, Dana Cooper's our guest on Songwriter Studio. Let's talk a little bit about track number 3, Flower in the Vine. This is a great song. You co-wrote this with Kim Ritchie. It's just a beautiful love song, in my opinion. I love the lyrics. Tell the listening audience a little bit about this track.
Yeah, the melody of this song came to me in Ireland. And every year I lead a tour over there for industry tours, and I was getting ready for dinner, and there was a helicopter actually landing outside the window on the lawn. I never found out why, but as that was all happening, this melody came to me, and I put it down and got back to the States, and I wrote a few lines to it. The always hello, never goodbye idea was kind of always in there. But I really love Kim Ritchie's writing, and we had recently connected. I'd met her before, but really kind of connected at a show, and she said, let's write together. So I took her this song idea, and it was just such a easy, joyful thing writing with her. Kind of went away from it, and I worked some on the bridge a little bit more. But and I brought in some friends over in Ireland, Joe Murray and Gillian Tute, recorded their parts over in Belfast and sent them to us.
It's amazing what you can do now with Pro Tools and some of the other softwares that you can be shipping these tracks all over the world, literally making it possible.
Yeah, and it came real in handy during COVID, obviously, so it was great.
Let's jump into this track right now. Flower in the Vine, brand new music, Dana Cooper, off the album I Can Face the Truth.
Leaves fall and scatter, it really doesn't matter. Seasons, they come and they go. The bee and the bramble, the melody rambles along to a song that we know. Always hello, never goodbye, forever our entwined. We turn to the sun, together as one, close as the flower and the vine. Ink on the page eventually fades. We tried the book of our days. Miles stretch between us, years find and leave us. In my eyes, you're always the same. Always hello, never goodbye. Forever our lives are entwined. We turn to the sun, together as one, close as the flower and the vine. Close as the flower and the vine. The light and the stars, the fire in my heart, birds in the sky, the tear in your eye, the moon in the night declares you and I will never part. We'll never part. We turn to the sun, together as one, close as the flower and the vine. Close as the flower and the vine.
Flower and the Vine, brand new music, Dana Cooper, co-write with Kim Ritchie. Was she singing some of the background harmonies?
No, she's not. We couldn't coordinate a recording with her when I needed to get it done, and I that's how I got my friends over in Ireland to send their vocals over.
Okay, yeah,
yeah. It's pretty cool.
You know, I was reading some of your accolades. I didn't realize. I knew you had a lot of records out, Dana, but 28 albums you've recorded. That's quite an accomplishment.
Well, it is, Tom. I think that this is actually the 30th. The numbers, everywhere you kind of see it, it's a little different because my bio hasn't always been updated. But I think this is the 30th recording I've been involved in, and they weren't all solo projects. Of course, I worked with Shake Russell and worked with some other artists over the years too. So.
Yes, as I'm aware. Folk Alliance International, you won the Spirit of Folk Award 2015. And here's one that I'm rather interested in, having lived in the Kansas City area for a while, the Heritage Music Award 2014. This wasn't all that long ago. That's quite an accomplishment as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was an honor. I felt humbled by it and a little odd. All those awards, I always worry when I get an award. This is like because he's been around so long, kind of an award. but I appreciate any recognition, of course, and very appreciative of that.
If you're just tuning in, Dana Cooper's our guest on Songwriter Studio, and we're reviewing tracks off the brand new album, I Can Face the Truth. I had mentioned earlier in the show your tempo is very dramatically through this record. In my opinion, this is what makes the record so interesting. There's nothing I hate worse when someone sends me an album to review and all the songs are mundane, slow, same tempo. Your tempo changes in this record are just stellar. As a matter of fact, let's listen to the next track we've got queued up here, Upside Down Day. You really picked up the tempo, brought in more electric instruments on this. Very appropriate for today. Tell the listening audience a little bit about Upside Down Day.
Yeah, well, it's really behind the song. It's an homage to Buddy Holly, And I even, cop one of his lines into the song. But it's I just had recently visited his grave, which I'd never done. I've been to the museum every time I go through Lubbock. I go by there and pay a little visit, and even if they're closed, I go over to the statue there and just kind of pay my respects. He was always remains a huge influence on me. So anyway, I visited the gravesite, and it was just kind of a touching, moment for me. A little scraggly tree kind of struggling there beside the family graves, and people had left beads and coins and dried flowers and guitar picks, on his headstone. So I was up in Oregon doing a concert and had the night off at a friend's place there, and this little song just came to me. It came out of the idea Upside Down Day, just turning everything upside down. Was a young lady at a Trader Joe's. I was checking out, buying, I think, eggs in the evening, and she said something about breakfast for dinner, and I left there just going, what could be, how could you turn that into a song? And it evolved into Upside Down Day.
Let's listen to this track right now. Dana Cooper off the brand new album, I Can Face the Truth. This is Upside Down Day.
Upside down day, breakfast for dinner. Upside down day, now the loser's a winner. Are you not gonna ask me what I want? Well, I'll tell you anyway. I want the lowly to rise above, and I want hate to turn into love. That's my kind of day, an upside down day. Upside down day, shadow to shimmer. Upside down day, sinker to swimmer. Don't bother to ask me what I see, you won't believe it anyway. The sky below, the earth above, the death-defying leap of love. Now that's my kind of day, an upside down day. Some fool might tell you that it makes no sense, but we're here to turn this dizzy world right on its head, till every frown turns right side up. Each empty heart is filled with love. Won't that be the day, our upside down day? Upside down day, lucky beginner. Upside down day, won't you pity the sinner? No one's gonna tell me what I see when I see it clear as day. The sky below, the earth above, a death-defying leap of love. That'll be the day, our upside down day. That'll be the day, our upside down day.
Upside Down Day, brand new music, Dana Cooper, rocking and rolling. You, like I said, you've got it all on here. You really broke up the tempos. I appreciate that.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I get bored quickly, so I like to vary things up, and that was so fun playing, building those 12-string, old 67 or 12-string, and the Telecaster parts, and Dave actually set me free to do that, and he played on there as well. But And even the song before, with the being able to pick up a Telecaster and put some kind of atmospheric stuff on there. I hadn't done that in a while, and it's just nice to work with someone who gives you that freedom and encourages you to do that kind of thing. It's fun.
Speaking of tone, your live show, you play one of your guitars you keep tuned in a very, very deep, I don't know if it's a drop B tuning.
Yes.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I started off with an open C tuning, like a drop C tuning, of course, and had written quite a few things in that. And another fellow, I can't remember his name now, I'm embarrassed to say, another guitar player I used to know, had his guitar drop down to B. And it was like, wow, no kidding, that's pretty cool. So I put the old Gibson in that sometimes, and I've even gone down to B flat, actually, but it starts flapping around,
Yeah, the strings get a little loose.
But that can be cool too. It just depends. But yeah, I like that. I like that sound, and it's that very deep C note, nice on the bottom.
Of course, Leo Kottke has always played his 12 strings full step and a half down in C, and then he pulls off up and down from there. He uses so many altered tunings I can't even keep track. So.
Yeah, he's amazing. We had the same manager many years ago. He and John Fahey and myself, a guy named Denny Bruce, when I was on Elektra.
And, of course, John Fahey got Kottke started in the business. So.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he was kind of a mentor to him, I guess.
Let's talk a little bit about track 5, Hours for a Little While. This is a co-write with Elva Jones-Hahn. Talk a little bit about this track.
Yes, Elva had the melody that basically is that song. We changed it a little bit. It had a lovely melody, and we just had a conversation. When you co-write with someone, it's like, what are we going to write about? And it just usually that comes out of a conversation. And we had one about loved ones and addiction and just that journey for people and what that's like and the kind of love that is involved in that. So. And that led to this song.
Let's listen to this track right now off the brand new album, I Can Face the Truth, Hours for a Little While. This is brand new music from Dana Cooper.
You've been on my mind. Every day I think about you countless times. Love is funny stuff. Just when my heart starts feeling tender, things get rough. Everything we think we own, we borrow. This moment is so precious, only ours for a little while. Ours for a little while. Home, you come back home when every dream is spurned and your heart turned to stone. Fire, your life's on fire. You try to burn it out, but you keep shining brighter. Everything we think we know is borrowed. These moments are so precious, only ours for a little while. Ours for a little while. Let's keep it safe. Let's make it count. Let's give our love here and now. Years after we're gone, someone like us will fight for love and carry on. Time is but a song. Every note that disappears is never gone. song so precious, only ours for a little while, ours for a little while. Let's keep it safe, let's make it count. Let's give our love here's for a little while. Let's keep it safe, let's keep it safe. Let's make it count, let's make it count. Let's give our love, let's give our love here's for a little while. Let's keep it safe, let's keep it safe. Let's make it count, let's make it count. Let's give our love, let's give our love here's for a little while now.
Hours for a Little While. Brand new music, Dana Cooper. Excellent harmonies. You were mentioning off the air that was one of your audience sing-alongs, which is what you did at the Threadgill Theater. You had the whole crowd singing along the bridge. It was wonderful.
It's so beautiful when that happens. I love that. Yeah, thank you. And again, I just had so much fun building all those harmony tracks, and I've always really been into, background vocals, harmonies, and all that stuff, and coming up with cool parts, and getting everyone, a lot of my friends involved in it too. And it's just, it's a lot of fun to do that.
Well, you did a superb job on this. I just love it. In the end, that last 30 seconds or so, when all the voices are building, it's just really a crescendo.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's move on to the next track. We've got so much music left here, and we are down to the last quarter of the show. Let's talk a little bit about Bluebird. You're going back to a little bit more rock and roll, and co-wrote this with Tom Kimmel.
Yeah, Tom and I wrote that song many years ago. I don't even remember when exactly, and neither of us had ever recorded it, and I had wanted to on a couple of occasions. It just didn't make the cut. But I loved, again, working with Chris Benelli on drums, Paul Slivka on bass, and Dave Coleman on guitar. We just went in the studio and put down a nice, raw, funky track, and got Brother Paul, we'll get the airplane going again here, sorry. Brother Paul Brown to play the B3 on there. And of course, I got my friend Tom to send his vocal in, again, long distance from Mississippi, I believe, where he was living at the time. But he and I hooked up in Memphis before the record came out, and spent the day recording a DIY video of the song, and that went really, really well. It was a lot of fun as well. But Tom is a rocker at heart. He was a rocker in his younger days, and it still shows through in what he does.
In addition to the Hammond B3, I assume this is you playing the harp. It sounds like a bullet mic. Really down and dirty harp work on it. Just excellent. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've always loved playing blues harp and playing with bands, and I don't get to do it that often, so this was a good opportunity. And what's funny is the way Dave arranged it changes keys like 4 times, so I had to play 5 harmonicas on it.
That was challenging.
And when I play with a band, I'm able to do that. But on my own, I just have to, keep it in C and play one harp. But it's a lot of fun, and it's the audience gets a big kick out of watching me juggle those 5 harps during the breaks.
Well, that's good. I love watching that. But anyway, let's listen to the studio version of Bluebird. Again, this is a co-write with Tom Kimmel. This is Dana Cooper.
I'm a bluebird, and I'm flying mighty high. I'm a bluebird, and I'm flying mighty high. I'm looking down on the people, and we don't see eye to eye. I see the eagle, I see the snake down in the grass. I see the eagle, I see the snake down in the grass. I see the past and the future, and I believe I see the future in the past. I see the graveyard, I see a world of changing plans. I see the graveyard,
Bluebird, killer rock and roll song. I love the harp. I noted the key changes, and yeah, you would have to pull out numerous harps to keep up with the key changes. Great job, man. I love the tone you were getting out of that harp, and the Hammond B3 organ in the background. Just killer track.
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted you to feel it in your bones. I think it came out pretty good. Yeah, it's funny. And on those instrumentals there, I did that like one take. Just with I had all the harps lined up on the little music stand, so I'd grab them and play them. And Dave Coleman is in the studio. He just, after the song, he just went, "Wow, that was interesting."
You were prepared.
I was, yeah. I try to rehearse.
You're just tuning in. Dana Cooper is our guest this afternoon on Songwriter Studio, reviewing tracks off the brand new, excellent album, I Can Face the Truth. If you like what you hear, if you like what KPFT has brought you for the last 52 years and counting, don't hesitate to pick up that phone and dial in your contribution to Songwriter Studio. 713-526-5738 is the phone number. Get you one of our new T-shirts coming out, so help us out. Songwriter Studio has been on the air here for 15 years, and we'd like to be on another 15 years, so please support this radio station, support this show. We've got Dana Cooper on the phone, and we are definitely playing some great tracks off the new album. We have got the next track booted up here, Walls. You co-wrote this, Rebecca Folsom. Why don't you give the listening audience a little background on this track?
Yeah, Rebecca has worked a lot with refugees, and she had this idea. She brought the idea for Walls to me, and it was really right up my alley. I mean, I loved the concept of it, some of the lyrics she had, and I just started thumping out, what it felt, the rhythm of the song and the beat of me, just kind of thumping it out in the key of A, and we just took off and wrote it, in an afternoon, and I'm very pleased with it, and she's done a version on her new record as well.
Excellent. It's nice when two of the artists co-writing together get to use these on two different projects.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's listen into this track right now. This is Walls, brand new music from Dana Cooper. I Can Face the Truth, the name of the new album.
Walls hold things up, they keep us in our place. They're square, they're there to hide what we can't face. Our walls keep us safe. Our walls keep us safe. Walls keep us from straying too far from our beliefs. They reject, they protect, they help us stay asleep. Walls silence the questions that lie beneath. I built a wall hard and high, then I heard voices singing on the other side. I risked the fall, climbed up to see that the people on the other side were just like me. Slow down, soften for a while, turn toward each other, open up and smile. Allow yourself to look into the other and walk a mile, walk a mile, walk a mile. Walls are built to crumble, walls are bound to fall. They lean, they mean to separate us all. No wall can defeat us, no matter how tall. We build our walls with wrong and right, stacking up our judgments, blocking out the light. When my fear falls, I clearly see that the people on the other side are just like me. nothing for a while. Turn toward each other, open up and smile. Allow yourself to listen to the other, and walk a mile, 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 walk a mile.
Dana Cooper, Walls, off the I Can Face the Truth record. Another great track, Dana. Just really smooth vocals. Excellent job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I love the message of the song.
Absolutely. We are just about out of time. My, how fast 1 hour goes. Dana, if someone wants to order one of these, copy of this new record or one of your 30 albums that you have, who knows how many are still in print, where do they go? You've got an extensive website. Go ahead.
I do, thank you. It's danacoopermusic.com, and you can find all things Dana Cooper right there.
There you go. How about your schedule? Is it up to date?
It is up to date. Well, there are actually a few dates to add for next year and a couple for this year, but for the most part, it's up to date, and I'll be working on updating that the next couple of days, actually, too.
And be sure and send us an email. Let us know when you're going to be in the Houston area. We'll give you a shout out and let these folks know that you're going to be coming to town. Before we leave, I do want to talk about a couple of shows that I'm interested in. I may be at. We've got August 27th. Richard Paul Thomas will be performing at the Johnson House Studio in Galveston, Texas. Contact James or Pam Johnson if you want to go to that show. And in September, Jamie Michaels will be coming to that show. Our good friend George Inslee will be playing the Johnson House concerts too in October. Also, one of my favorite live performers, Monty Montgomery, will be playing Main Street Crossing up here in Tomball. The date of that's going to be July 27th. Please support live music. Dana, thank you so much for being our guest on Songwriter Studio. Hope you have a great tour and sell 1 million copies of this new record. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Tom. Appreciate you too. Hey, and by the way, you're a fantastic picker yourself, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Listen, stick around. Up next, we have Irish Airs, followed by our friends at the Bluegrass Depot. Tune us in next week for Songwriter Studio. Thanks again, Lloyd Daniel, for all you do. We're going to close out the show with one of the tracks off the brand new album, I Can Face the Truth. You're about to listen to I'm Just Passing Through Here. Thanks again, Dana.
Thank you, Tom.
See you next week.
I'm just passing through here, a stranger on the run, a shadow on the wind, whispering winds, feather in the sun. I'm just passing through here, on my way to nowhere, all the way from no return. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, a horse without a rider, a song I sing because I must. I'm just passing through here. Oh, oh, oh. without a rider, a horse without a rider, a horse without a rider.